At the opposite end of the rail station, inside the men's room now, Hala had again taken a stall that featured a duct grate above it. She waited until the stalls adjacent to hers emptied, and then, for the second time in the past few minutes, removed already loosened screws. She turned the grate sideways and pushed it deep into the duct. She had to stand there for several minutes while an old man came in and urinated, but then he left and the place fell silent. Slight in stature, Hala had been a highly competitive gymnast as a girl and still maintained her agility and limberness. After shoving the toolkit in after the grate, she stood up on the exposed pipe of the toilet, grasped the stall walls on either side of her, tightened her abdomen, and swung her legs up into a pike position, toes pointed almost at the ceiling. The split second she felt her hips about to fall, she snapped her heels and calves forward into the open duct. Wriggling, she was completely inside the ventilation system within 10 seconds. She kept wriggling and scooting, pushing the tool bag in the grate ahead of her, deeper into the duct. 3 feet in was an intersection of 4 ducts. She turned her upper body into the right side passage, pulled herself totally in, and then inched back across the one she'd just left. It took some straining with her left hand, but she was able to retrieve the grate. Looking toward the light shining in through the open hole in the wall to the restroom, she crabbed back to it and then peered out. A boy was peeing with his father. Hala looked at them from the darkness of the ductwork, wondering if this was something Tariq had ever done with their son, Fahd. Had her boy ever been that young? When they left, Hala shook off whatever regrets she had and pulled the grate back over the open duct, securing it with an 8-inch length of picture frame wire she'd brought along for that purpose. 2 minutes later, she'd gotten herself turned around again, and she pushed on, straight down the main duct, smelling the odor of pizzas cooking at Sparrow pouring into the air vent system from her left. She felt her stomach grumble, ignored it, and kept wriggling. 25 feet farther on, Hala reached a second intersection in the ductwork. She arched and pulled her way into the one that broke right, heading north. When she was fully inside that duct, she stopped, chest heaving, got out the disposable cell from the pocket of the workman's suit, and hit redial. "Why?" she whispered.
4 and 0,
the male voice replied. Her allies were close to the target now. It would have taken them no more than 12 minutes to get there on an ordinary day, but the snow had changed everything. Still, she trusted his judgment. "Go with God," she said, and hung up. After stowing the cell phone, she slid on another 10 feet to where the duct made a 90-degree left turn. In the north wall there was another grate. Cold air was blowing through it. Hala shivered. She paused for only a second to look through the grate, finding herself high above dimly lit loading platforms and 2 commuter trains sitting dark on the suburban rail tracks. Hala crawled on toward a third grate. She moved stealthily, as if she were sliding into position for a sniper's shot, which she was. The last 10 feet took nearly 10 minutes, leaving her 28 minutes before her roll turned crucial. Irritating Christmas music blared from somewhere. Hala peered through the grate. She was 15 feet up the east wall of a loading dock platform owned by the U.S. Postal Service. Directly below her were large canvas hampers holding canvas bags that were filled with mail. A skeleton crew of 3 men worked on the dock, transferring the mail bags from the hampers into an open compartment at the rear of a rail car. Hala flashed on an image of herself much younger, out in the desert with Tariq, before the children came. He was teaching her how to shoot a pistol. How odd it had been that aiming and firing a gun came so naturally to her. Then again, shooting was something precise, like medicine, where attention to technique and detail came together to create a little miracle. And wasn't that what a perfectly placed shot was? A little miracle? A gift from God? Hala thought so. She got the silenced Glock out of the tool bag and aimed down through the slats of the grate at a fat Latino guy with mutton chops. He was farthest from her, closest to the tracks, the one most likely to get away.